Hello and welcome to an appallingly chroma keyed stream. I have been messing about with it like you wouldn't believe. I'll just give another fiddle, which means the sound will go off. Hang on. Anyway, the point is, what we're actually going to do, I'm going to switch this over. Let's make sure my sound's still coming through. Yes, it is. We're going to have a look, before we play the actual game today, we're going to have a look at this devlog. It's probably a bit small, that. They published a... I'm not going to read it through like I do with the Factorio streams, Factorio ones, because it's quite technical. But I thought it would be worth looking at some of the little bits and pieces. Boop. Do that there. Hopefully that's big enough for people to read, if they want to read it. But it's on Steam, basically, so if you've got Steam, you can go and look on there. Oh, they post it on their Twitter as well. So basically... they're starting to show off some of the stuff from, from the combat update, which they're calling Dark Fog. I keep calling it the Swarm, but Dark Fog is what they're calling it. So first off, they popped in sort of a few images. You can actually, if you right click on sort of View Image, you can get a much larger. Well, actually, this is the banner image they put to it, and you can expand that one as well. I'll make that sort of full screen. And as you can see, so basically this is the fog, as they're calling it, but it's like a swarm attack thing. This is like a framework. Interestingly, I don't know whether it's just coincidental, but there's like a planet in the fog, and I don't know if that's sort of coincidental or not. But as you can see, it's sort of lining up to attack a player-inhabited planet, one that's kind of very late game, I would say. This is, you know, the suns and using the... producing the, what do you call it, the anti-photons and stuff. So it's a very late game setup. So that's the banner. Then this is the first image that's in the set of images. I'm assuming that all three, or, well, multiple of these are new. These are obviously the power pylons, so they're not new. This, I think, is a new spaceship. And then we've got this here that looks like a launcher to me, some kind of launcher of perhaps it's launching your orbital defense. This, I think, is probably some kind of signal receiver, or maybe it's a laser cannon or something like that. But it looks like it could fire things or receive things from space. In the background, I'm not sure what these... I mean, this looks like the launcher, so I don't think that's new. But I'm not sure what all of these are. Those look new. And obviously there's this ship here that looks new, but it all looks, as per usual, looks amazing. The next image they posted with this one, it's a bit vaguer, this one, but this is the same stuff by the looks of things. So whatever it is that they're showing off here is mostly new. Again, I assume it's all sort of things for launching like orbital defense or something like that. But I think these are like defense cannons, basically, so like ion cannons or something like that. You know, defending your planet. And this is obviously the new enemy, the Dark Fog. Looks like it turns up in sort of structural, almost like Dyson Sphere type things itself, because this is like the triangular type pattern. And there's another one over there, so it clearly turns up in a sort of a swarm type behaviour. And again, pretty as ever. This is one of the alien inhabited planets, so I'm not entirely sure why this is passing by. I think it's just obviously given for effect, but I don't know if it's because they've inhabited a planet you used to own, or this is just, you know, it's flying to a planet you do own and they've taken over this one. It's obviously an ice-filled jelly-sol, and as you can see, they build these structures. I can't see... it's not clear to me. I mean, I don't know if these are meant to be on resources, and that's what they're doing. They're sort of using the resources, or if it's just regularly space, because it looks very sort of patterned compared to where the resources are, which are a bit more random. So I don't know if they just occupy a planet and put these on randomly, and these are maybe their bases for launching attacks against you. But you can also see you've got ships flying around. They don't look like our ships to me. You know, that might be why that's there, rather than any gameplay reason to show you that it's a different type of ship. But I don't know if that's, they have a similar thing where they can send resources between planets. And then we've got whatever that is. That's the attack ships, I think, maybe. But it shows you basically they turn up and occupy the planet. So far we've got kind of two things out of the images. Is that they will come and attack your planets. And they attack your actual planets. They don't, just blow up your drones. But also they occupy planets. So we're going to have to do some kind of planetary clearance by the looks of things. This is a bit of a close-up then at the of the enemy ships. As you can see, it's very similar in style to the Dyson Sphere, and it looks like it probably builds itself in this triangular, shape. And it launches these. Now, these don't look like the attack ships to me. They might be the same, but they don't look like the attack ships to me. So it looks like they've probably got several different types of ships. And then this is not really a close-up one compared to the thing, but this is a swarm coming to attack you. So notice that it's obviously in a very geometric shape, but also there's no structure. So, I mean, we see planets there, so I don't know where this is going. Maybe this is they build this swarm and it, blasts off to whichever system you're occupying, and that's what it's about to do. It's about to come over. We look like we've got a secondary attack swarm down there, perhaps. But they say these look like aggressive attack ships. We'll come back to that in a minute. So those are the first four images. Now what they're talking about here, so I'm not really going to go through it all, but what they're talking about here is how they've been trying to build the content, the attack, the combat branch in parallel with the main branch, and so they have still been launching new features and then trying to merge them together. But what they're basically showing is that as they've done that, it's become more and more difficult to merge them. So what they're basically saying is there's not going to be any more new general content update until the combat branch is finished, which they don't give any hint when that will be done, but I am anticipating that will be end of this year at best. This is obviously from a CPU, and basically the performance they're making, the dev references 9 and 10 FPS, and what they're basically saying is that they've put the combat update in, and performance-wise it's kind of horrendous, basically. This is essentially trying to show the sort of attack power, or I think it's the performance impact of the swarm, and if you've got it on normal settings versus if you've got it on your cause it casual, I suppose the least difficult and most difficult, and I think this is either meant to be your power. It shows the hypothetical combat power between players and the dark fog. Yeah, so you start off behind, but you catch up. Then you're fairly parity, and then you can exceed them. A bit like Factorio, where if you keep ahead of the power curve, you're okay. But this looks like they kind of map together. But then it also talks about, as I say, the performance side of it, and I say there's a few other. This is what I think we've been seeing. So the colony thing is this, snowflake type thing that was in those images. So this here is a colony, whatever that means, and it talks about a landing fleet, and they land on the planet, a destroyer fleet and a frigate fleet. I don't know. I mean, other than obviously a destroyer and a frigate being a different type of ship, you tend to think, if they're based on ours, that destroyers are meant to go out and attack your ships, and frigates are more sort of missile type defense, would be the sort of real world equivalent. But it talks, you've got motherships, interceptors, so close range defense, drones, presumably for building more than anything. This says Tinder. I don't quite know what that means. So drop off Tinder, travel to next galaxy. It has to maybe build this in order to colonize other planetary systems, maybe. And then this looks like it can, the motherships, which I'm assuming is what we've been seeing here, that maybe that's a mothership, and or that's a mothership maybe. And this other one here, which is actually from here, these are the destroyers, maybe something like that. But that can go off and colonize other planets, and that's what it's talking about, maybe. Ground enemies attack players' fighters. Factory turret. So it looks like it's got its own turrets as well. It does get a bit codey. So this is obviously the ships. It then shows you some of the animations. What they're trying to get at here, really, in the actual text they talk about it, is that they're like unloading a lot of the rendering or the calculations to the graphics card in order to try and even out the load. Because, as I've kind of suspected, this sort of confirms that it's a very CPU limited game, which makes sense. Factorio is as well, particularly in terms of memory cache on the CPU die. And basically, it's because it's got so much stuff in it. So it's got millions and millions of bits and pieces that it's got to keep track of and update on a regular tick. And they're basically saying that they're going to slow the tick down, I think, for when it's nowhere near them. When they're off in some distant system, that the logic tick is a lot slower, and that reduces the impact. And I say it gets a bit codey, update, which is, well, I'm not going to read it through, but this is them stress testing the system. So these are drones, basically, your drones. They're not alien drones, I don't think. I think they're our drones, and they've just gone nuts and just slapped it all in. If you wanted to stress test your system, then they do have the save file, if you wanted to download that and give that a go. But again, this is it basically saying they're going to work on performance, and that's one of the key things. I don't know why this is nothing yet.jpg. But basically, yeah, so again, this is what they're basically talking about is that they put in the combat update, and this is the game file, and basically even this is for a game where the player has not encountered the dark fog, and he's, I think they're saying, quite a long way away from it, and the main game is the 3 millisecond load, and basically 50 megabytes of this 58.7 megabyte save file is the dark fog, and that's why they got one of the things they got to optimize, because obviously if you're, I mean, that's actually quite a long load, and it does a lot of background saving and loading. So if you're having that sort of load time on that sort of file size, then it's going to be quite noticeable. And if you'd like, you've not encountered the enemy yet, you're going to be a bit miffed that it's taken that long to do. I'm not 100% sure what this is actually showing, because it doesn't say what it is. But I think it might be a sort of fully evolved colony, maybe, because it looks like the snowflake design, and maybe these are the different things they're talking about. These are sort of the motherships, maybe, and maybe these are the combat, the towers. What the green and the blue and stuff is, I'm not 100% sure, but it looks like it probably builds itself out, and then uses that to colonize other worlds, maybe. So these are logic. I think they call them. I think they say these are the LODs actually, but basically they're sort of saying what what bits and pieces they've done and are doing. So it's clearly not going to be launching soon. We've then got some nice animation. So here's a confirmation we have, and I think if you look at the shape of it, this is what this is. They look about the same. And this is obviously some kind of planetary turret that you're building. Then this is the enemies attacking your... Oh no, this is you attacking one of their structures, I think. Is that right? Oh no, well, they're talking about shaders, so it's again them trying to use graphics tricks to do some of the harder work. And excuse me, and as I say, using shader effects rather than particle systems. So this is the enemies. I think this is them you attacking them on the ground, and this is them attacking you. And they do note that it is just for effect, basically, or just to test it. You wouldn't get this level of destruction going on, I don't think, in the actual game. But this is clearly a in-game world, and they're just sort of blowing it up with as much stuff as they can to sort of stress test the system. It ends off then with a little summary of the Now they do note that this is like sort of placeholder and sort of current designs and stuff, but basically saying that, you know, fundamentally you can switch it off. Enable dark fog is ticked, but then you've got different types of aggressiveness and how initially aggressive they are and expansive. The density, I assume that means densities of attack maybe. Power gen threat, so you know, maybe that's to do with how much power you're producing and it responds to that threat. Destroying threat, combat experience, so you know, some of these get a bit lost in translation, but clearly you're going to have a bunch of sliders to, you know, if you want to play with combat but ramp it all down, you know, or you want to ramp it up to make it harder. It's interesting that these are set at maximum, these three, and that's the default. So that's probably a performance thing, I would have thought, where it's basically saying that the most, you know, you can't take it above the point where it'll have a bad impact on performance. Maybe that's what they're getting at. And they do send off with a nice little note that's saying that the producers have had their baby, and congratulations to them. But again, it's kind of another hint that this is not going to be anytime soon before it's finished. Did I show that one? Yeah, I showed that one. So yeah, so it's well worth checking out, particularly if you're a bit nerdy and you're interested in how they do the coding and things like that. I'm going to load the game up. I'm then going to switch over and see if I can remember. Oh, the green screen's not as bad, is it? That's okay. And let's see if I can remember what we were doing. If we pop it on that, then you can see the settings. See the map, rather. There we go. Cool. I've wondered about doing some more of them, like reading dev blogs and stuff, because there's a video. I mean, I don't know. YouTube's a bit weird many a time, but the last one I did on the Factorio update is getting a load of views. I mean, people aren't particularly watching it because it's only, you know, they watch the bits that are to do with the new the expansion, and they skip the rest of it. So it's only about 4 minutes that people typically watch, which is kind of the thing, really. Unless you're doing videos regularly, you don't really get much watch time out of views. So, you know, it's often quite a lot of effort to put in for not much back. I'd rather, you know, it's like why I do the live streaming, where, you know, the fact that one person or two people watch the stream on the VOD is kind of why it's there. So, I did get some time. I've been insanely busy at work and working loads of overtime. In fact, you know, I worked this morning, I worked all yesterday, I'm going to have to work after this. I worked till 9:30 at night, that is, on Wednesday, for example. But before that all kicked off, I had done a bit, and what I'm going to do, so long as I've got bits and pieces, if I've got enough fuel, is we're just going to nip over to the other planets. I might take some stuff with us, though, because I did use up some material, but I can't remember where my little bus is. Over here. I've got the power thing on, haven't I? Because I was checking out whether we were producing enough power. But yes, let's take some like machines and stuff with us. In fact, let's just grab what we can. This is we'll come back to this. I've actually built a so it's just load up. You can always dump it out again. So I've actually built a whole thing to make landfill, and then loads of belt. Got one of them. What about these things here? I think we're all right on all of them, aren't we? It's just machines I want to take with me, really. Yes, I built two. Well, I'll show you. But I built a thing to make There's not much point having labs, is there? They've not got chemicals on them. To make landfill, and to make... What about... I should have a full stack of them. To make solar panels, basically. Since we've got a planet that doesn't have solar panels. So I've been using that to fill that out with enough power. So I was temporarily bringing stuff over from home. Where's Chew? So who's closest? Let's go there. So get a little bit of speed. And I think I'm going to try some in-system warping. See if I can't get a bit more practiced with the timing of it. Not too bad, not too bad. Yes, so, as you can see, I do this. We've got some solar panels. Look at that, that's quite effective, isn't it? Quite a lot of solar panels, obviously. And I set up a little production. I wouldn't normally do this. I normally prefer to use wind turbines because it blocks less construction. So, because with turbines you can have like belts going across, whereas this you have to go over the panels, and it's just a bit of a ball ache. But yeah, so I've built a few more things. So we've got a titanium there, for example. What's this? So I built a cogs one, built a steel one. It's obviously stone. There's loads of stone on this, which is why I've built a landfill thing. I think this was already here. That's the silicon. What we got here? Oh, here you go. So this is stone brick, which we didn't have before. And then this is where I'm building solar panels. So it's got the circuit production there. And it's got loads of solar panels in, so we can request in solar panels. So I can actually get rid of that on the other planet. What else? That's the stone brick. I showed you that before. Then we got some silicon crystals, since we've got a good amount of silicon here. This was like an emergency. Well, should be an emergency thing. It's not bringing anything in because hydrogen production. That's where we were at the start of the stream, because that's just stopped. But yes, we've got, these are all the things that are being produced on this planet that I'm getting unavailable to, so I'm pulling in here and then sending out basically, or making available to send out, so we can take some of it out. But yeah, they should be bringing in hydrogen as like a backup thing almost. So here's us making, because obviously we've got the stone, so you know, I've made some prisms and some glass, and there's the copper. We had that already. We've already seen that. Steel and gears. That's titanium. So that's the iron that we're next to. Copper. More iron plate. This should be almost... Oh, it's not, is it? We get rid of that. Get rid of that. But I've set these to, you know, hopefully take them away so that we can get rid of this. This was just here temporarily. Don't get rid of that. Why can I not see the landfill one? Or did I not set landfill up here? Oh, I didn't. Huh, well we could quickly do that then. Huh. I did not set that up. Yeah, well we'll do that then. I also started doing the end caps thing. This is, I like to colour these in. Where was it? It must be just the solar panels I did then. I don't have a blueprint, I don't think, for doing landfill, but we'll have a quick look. Nope, I don't see one. Okay. So, where do we want to build this? Where would be useful? I mean, this is the thing here. Do I have any spare slots? I got one there, haven't I? And one there. Okay, so we could have landfill. Local demand. So it's not going to do anything? No, I definitely haven't set it up then. Weird. Right, so if we pop in a little landfill production then, where could we put that? That would be useful. Or sort of out of the way maybe. Should put it near the steel really, I think. Yeah, let's put it near the steel. We can direct feed that in. So let us get a debris. Collide with another object. Oh. Belt. So I can't remember the recipe for landfill. What is it? What's the ratios? The ratios. 3-to-1. So we should probably set up another stone brick. Okay. Okay. So we want this out here. And this. Oh. So steel. Stone brick. Landfill. Oh, I was going to do. Well, I've got them the wrong way around, haven't I? If that's. Yeah. So that should be steel. Because it's further away. Stone. And we'll have this around the back. Yeah, I was going to do proliferation, I think, wasn't I? That was my actual plan for the day. Oh! Hello, Bacon Hair. You've redeemed bad joke, have you? Crikey. How you doing? I'm going to have to look up. Let's have a look at my list. Oops. Oh. There we go then. Did you hear about the kidnapping at school? It's fine, he woke up. I quite like that one. They're mostly puns. When it's like a dad joke, it's like a pun, basically. That's like mostly what it usually means. Again, I am tired. I've been working like, well, crazy, basically. I've been busy with stuff, so I couldn't watch Twitch. No problems. I don't mind if people just want to pop in and say hello every so often. But no, work's been just insane, basically. So let's have, say, oh, I don't know. And this is sort of one that I won't use very often. I'll just have 3 of them, maybe, and you know, it'll just, when I need it, it'll be ready to go, sort of thing. So we put one in there, maybe. Oh, one in there. Yeah, okay. And then we'll put a load of drones in, and demand that, demand that. Supply that. Cool. Yeah, I say my work's been nuts. I try not to talk about it because it's weird. Is that all set up properly? Yeah. Because I can't, you know, sort of, because of what my job is, I almost can't say what it is. So it's always a bit sort of almost non-committal. Let's belt that across since it's right here. Try and take some load off on the drones. You're still not operating. Why is there no stone coming in whatsoever? What have I done wrong there? Where is the stone one? Where is the stone one? Because we're going to add an extra stone because we need so much of it. And there's so much on this planet. Is that it? That's it, isn't it? Oh, it's just a supply thing. Because that's super slow. And I bet a load of it's going into this. Yeah. Okay, let's go and build another stone one then. Which is the nearest stone patch? Is that one up there, I guess? Oh! So I had a very weird dream a few days ago. I was in a very dark room. It's pitch black. I couldn't even see my own legs. I tried scouting the room. My hand, I found a cob of corn. So naturally I start munching away. There was no flavour over texture of each kernel popping out of the cob. Well, there you go. I'm not... So, I have a kind of thing where I don't remember dreams. You know, most people, you know, remember their dreams, I think. But I think I can literally, like, remember sort of 2 dreams, you know, from my entire life type of thing. And both stress dreams, so not the sort of dream you want to remember. But I just don't remember dreams, I say. I sort of wake up. And it's, you know, blank slate, which I don't know if that means I don't dream. I'm not sure if that's possible, but I kept eating the seamlessly endless knob of corn as I absolutely going to town on said corn. I feel the present other people around me also eating corn. I could hear the sound of corn getting eaten, but yet not see. It's just like you're setting up for a joke. I don't know if that's. Does the stream have any? Do I need to eat more corn? Well, maybe. Dreams are. I mean, I know there's like a whole thing, isn't there, of interpreting dreams and stuff. But dreams generally are essentially your brain just processing what's happened in the day. It's why they're sort of random. Because basically, it's like all of the things that happened to you that day, or that you thought about, or you know, you just heard in the background and that sort of thing. It's basically your brain going, you know, well, to get odd about it, basically your brain is like, you know, the synapses, essentially, basically your how to phrase it, neurons firing is a sort of a randomized process. It's if you look up how neural networks work in AI, they're basically based on how the brain works. So you can actually sort of work out, in a sense, how your brain works because of how people have designed neural networks. And it's the same sort of idea. And what's essentially happening is your brain going, well, what did that all mean? What happened today? What threats were there? What opportunities? What, you know, what things did we do today? And because that's, you know, 16 hours of stuff, when you wake up and, you know, when you have a dream, it's just all completely jumbled together because all your neurons are just firing away. So yeah, you might have had a thought today about, you know, yesterday about corn. Oh, I've done it again because this is broken, this one. And then that's got mixed up with a time when you went into the, you know, a room full of people or something, and so it all got mixed together and became a dream, basically. I forget most of my dreams, but I can remember this one pretty clearly. But yeah, you never know. Might be a warning from your deep subconscious that you need more corn. As I mean, literally, the only dreams I can ever remember are, I had one, this is like close to 30 years ago now, when I was at university. Basically, it was a classic stress dream where essentially I went into the bathroom and sort of looked in the mirror, and my teeth started falling out. It's a classic stress dream. I can't actually remember whether I had exams or anything, but it's the type of thing you would get with exams. And just started tugging on them, you know, just a little bit, and loads of teeth just dropped out. Right, how are we doing? So, I imagine this isn't getting, it's not getting the stuff it needs. And the other one, can't remember offhand. It was something to do with a trip I was doing. Because this only supplies like 6, doesn't it? I can't remember. And basically, because I'm like a Formula 1 fan, basically, and it was like a trip I was doing to Silverstone, and it was just something weird at you know, at the track, basically. So it not particularly interesting. Cool. Alright, beside all of the corny shenanigans, you get any Dyson Sphere up and running? Not yet, no, I'm afraid I'm not, I'm not actually finished the research tree yet. Last stream, I just went for an explore, so I basically spent all stream just sort of flying around the local system, and actually identified. Let's see if I can find it. So these are the places I visited, obviously. You know, went over to the... They've tweaked the neutron stars. They look amazing now. They've got all, like, particles going in them and stuff, and it's got, like, the... you know, the jets that they put up, the pulsar jets. But yeah, so I was thinking maybe I might actually build my Dyson Sphere around another planet, so not around the home planet. I'm only planning on building one. But this was just a note here. There's quite a lot of copper, and there's a nice lava planet there. So that's probably where we'll try and head to as our sort of proper outpost for bringing more significant material in. But yeah, we went for a little bit of an explore. Right, so I thought I'd already done that. I thought I'd already set up the landfill production. But there we go. I was going to top these off, I think, make sure I've got some bits and pieces here. That looks all okay. There's no power poles. Is that because they're... Oh, there we go. So I need some drones in there. Flatten that off. There's not enough power poles. That's nice. We've got some emergency fuel. 10 of them. Coal. And then we've got iron and all sorts of good stuff there. Cool. So we've got some emergency building. Should I take out this? Oh, they've got some now. Okay. What we don't have for some reason, and I guess it's because of the kink in the angle, is power on that for some reason. Da-da-da. Cool. Okay, so let's go and visit the other one. I didn't really get very far, I think. Is it Tube 4? Because we should build some stuff there. Is Tube 4 where we're going? Let's have a look. Yeah. Let's just pop an indicator on that. And try some in-system warping again. Get some practice in. Oh, no, there we go. Whoa, nearly. I think I hit the tab button, didn't I? There you go. Right. So I don't think I've done anything here. It was the plan. So I did what I'd done on the Chew 1. Chew 3, isn't it? Oh, wrong type of power pole. Let's get ourselves a little bit of a charge. In a play session before work went nuts. So I don't think I've really done anything here. But again, it's not got very much copper at all, has it? So yeah, so it looks like we probably need to bring drones here. This is the South Pole? North Pole? South Pole. Okay. Because I think I messed up the turbines, didn't I? What we got here? Put some more in there. Looks like I should have brought... Why is that even there? Copper. What have we not mined? So only silicon, titanium and stone. Yeah. Okay, so we've got a magnet. Because I was thinking I might get this to build 10 drones. Clearly not been here in a while, have we? So it's got steel as well. I think we might have to pop back and get some drones. Because that's got nothing in it. But then it wouldn't, because I've directly fed it in there for steel. Okay, so that's fine. Okay. What have you got? You've got 50 there. 25. Yeah, I'm going to have to get some drones, I think. Is that silicon? Ah. Ah, okay. So I've clearly been doing a lot of temporary stuff here, haven't I? Waiting for me to take up. Oh, you're full already. No, you're not. What else we got? Yep, you're full. What are you making? You're making iron plate. Copper plate. And then the other one is making magnets, okay. Ah, put some drones in there. Iron plate, okay. So I think that's all of the builds with drones in now. Yeah, okay, so we could go sorting them out. Hydrate, thank you. Thank you for the reminder. How's your Dyson Sphere going, by the way, Bacon here? Or Bacon, I should say. So I think you said you had several up and running already on your play. Because aren't you... I might well have mixed this up. Apologies if I have. But I think you're a multi-thousand-hour player, aren't you? Top these off as well, I think. 50-50, in fact we don't need 50 of them. We could add them in. And that. Okay. Yeah, I clearly just sort of left this one with some half-done stuff. What am I missing there? We've got assemblers, smelters, miners. Oh, I suppose we've got no... Let's put a chest in, because we've kind of got none of these here. Have I got any fuel on me? I've got some. Yeah, so I need to go get some drones. That's fine. What I want to do, really, is perhaps plop down a couple of these where they'll charge. And see if we can't bring some stuff in. You know, get it set up to... Because this is the only off-planet one. So if we switch these to... Local demand. Local supply, rather. Alright. Didn't put any drones in, did I? Oh, we take those out and put them in here instead. Oops. So we got titanium and silicon, obviously. The basics are all here, I think. Iron plate, copper plate. Don't think I'm doing any stone brick, but we got steel. And then we got your crystals and your magnets. And the ones we want to set up here really are the proper magnets. Did I have cogs here? I can't remember. Don't think I have I? Do I want them here? I could set up glass and stuff as well, but it's just like, it's such low volume stuff really. Put the local demand on all of these. And then see if we can't take some of them out. Oops. Manually. See what we can put in without doing an inventory explosion. Oops. There was an inventory explosion. It's why I try not to do it, because I'm just oh, bum. I just deleted my silicon. Oh well. Right, let's see if I can not be incompetent. It's a difficult ask, but we'll give it a go. I mean, it'll all get drained. Oh, I need to get rid of the belts tonight, because it's just going to come in again. One plate. Oh. And then the magnet. It's all very well me setting them up temporarily. But then I just go and make a mess. One plate. Oh, it's already done. Okay, right. Oh, why is both of those unpowered? Have we not got any more? Oh. Let's just do that. Oh, it's not that they're unpowered, they're just not getting power? Yeah. Right. Let's find these two here. And then we want to delete this belt. Boop. Like so. Chop it off there for the time being. Get rid of that. Get rid of that and that. Oh. Titanium coming in here. Chop that off there. Get rid of that. And then we'll just plop in one of them. And connect that. Connect that. Connect that. Reverse this. Take that off there. Oh. Oh no, wait. I want that coming out the other way, don't I? Oh, it's just not have it there. We don't really need it in there. Just fix that later, basically. I don't have any drones, do I? And then we should have the same one for this silicon. Oh! Hello, Juicy Dish. That's a great username. Hello, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a good day. I say, that's a great username, Juicy Dish. Apologies if you sent that message a while ago. I was mid-think. It's a bit complicated for me nowadays, thinking. Right. Flip that. Put you to that. Oh, you connect to there. And then we want that for later. That for now. And we're all good. So we need drones. Oh, still got 3 bits of titanium. Okay. How are we doing? Oops. There we go. Played this last night with 6 other people. Co-op with combat. Wow, okay. I didn't know... Is that a mod? Or... I didn't know that was something you could do. Okay, so it's nearly empty. I just might as well kill that one off. That one. Right through is a mod, combat is another mod. Oh, right, okay. So that's combat between you and the players rather than... Because, just coincidentally, they just recently released a blog, a dev blog, about the combat update that's coming. And that's going to be a... Doesn't sound like that's PvP type combat. It sounds like it's against an enemy called the Dark Fog. Let's see if I can get the timing right on it this time. Oop. Yeah, getting better at that, getting better. Okay, let's find the drones, which I think I'm right next to by accident. No, it's PvE. You get attacked by space insects every other... every hour with the mod. Oh, right, okay. And how does it work? Is it a... You know, is it a good mod? Is it... I don't know quite what the phrase would be, but... you know, does it... does it work? Is it fun? Let's see. What else did I need? I needed something else. I need these at the very least. Let's get some of them. Some of them. Put that back. It's fun. Cool. I was saying, I think it's going to be a while before they finish the combat update for this. I think it's probably next year, is my guess. Or the end of this year, anyway. No, that didn't work. Put them in. Have we got a... No, we haven't. Put one of them down. Get ourselves juiced up. Put a marker on. Do we need any extra stuff? This is the question. So, we've got plenty of those things, haven't we? We've got a bell. Okay. So, plan with this planet is to add on a bit of magnet production. I usually like to outsource in a sort of a hierarchy. So, you know, we've got stone brick, we've got glass, we've got prisms, we've got all of those, we've got that, we've got steel, gears. We're about to add magnets. And I mean, we don't have graphite technically, but yeah, all of those basic ones are now being produced off planet, so we have more options for bringing them in. We'll have to set up some kind of system here. I do have my blueprints that I could maybe plop in. It's a little tricky because we got a crude oil thing there that we're using. But yeah, I could maybe set up my planetary ones. The trouble is they have more advanced, they have the power transfer things. So it becomes about hell with all the turrets, but it's a lot of fun. Really suggesting. Oh, probably. Well, I tend to leave mods until the games are finished, because you never know what they're going to add. So, for example, you talk about turrets and stuff like that. It looks like there's some kind of turret in the main game, so I'd rather have the main game version, because I don't have as much time to play games as I would like. So there's also I remember, I think it might have been StarCraft. It was back in the day, but I remember playing a mod for a game and sort of almost feeling no, it wasn't. What was it? I can't remember what it was. But playing a mod and sort of being disappointed because they introduced. No, it would have been StarCraft. That was would have been years ago. It was an RTS though. It was in early access. Can't remember what it was. They basically added the same thing. Like the main, the actual devs, as it were, added the same mechanic, and it was rubbish compared to the mod. And I just felt really, really, really disappointed, and it sort of almost ruined the game for me. What the hell was that? So yeah, I tend to wait a bit on mods to see, what goes in the main game, and then check out mods. What am I looking for here? I'm looking for nothing in particular. I think I need inserters. That's right. There we go. Because we've got a load of them. Oh, and power poles. That's it. Right. I think we'll probably get rid of this because we got that production of. And we obviously don't need silicon anymore. I'm going to leave obviously I am producing them on the other planet, but I'm going to leave them for the time being because of how I'm feeding them in. But anyway, let's have a look. I think we will get rid of that. I'm full of junk now, aren't I? Okay, let's put that in there. Now it was not smelters. Here we go. Power poles and inserters. I think that's all I need. Got loads of drones. Cool. I mean, I agree with you, but the only reference for the factory games we have is Factorio. It took that game like 10 years. Yeah, I do. Yeah, that's a very good point. They weren't quick, shall we say. Well, they do seem quite quick with this as well. They're sort of a bit. I'm sort of amazed, if I'm honest. I think part of it is because the game looks so good, and so I think there's a bit of an element there of. Because it looks good, but I think I don't know about cheating, but they're doing a lot of tricks to make it look good. If you see what I mean, sort of relying on shader effects rather than, again, more practice at in-system warping, which I'm rubbish at. But let's hope we don't. Cool. Bang. Yeah, so that they're very clever with how they've done it. And also, I think they've sort of saved themselves a lot of effort by making everything belted, including fluids and stuff. So there's no fluid system in the game or anything like that. It's a lot of very clever choices. But I'm always very, very amazed at how quickly they do everything, basically. So we don't have gears on this planet. We have a lot of iron ore. We are exploiting all of it. So I think we'll put our gears on, but this is the one we really want to set up. Okay. Now, has these emptied? Nope. Nope. Okay. So you're a Factorio player as well, are you then? Chewy's Dish. Chewy Dish, rather. Right, where do we want to put this then? I guess halfway between the two. Is this... That's iron plate, isn't it? Okay. There were some that needed drones, weren't there? Yeah, okay. So... Pop that in there. Where are they going? Where am I demanding that in? That's interesting. Didn't think I was demanding that anywhere. Yeah, let's plop it in here. I don't think I've got a blueprint for this one. No, I have. There we go. Okay. It's quite small production speed. Flop it there. Oh, you're doing that again, are you? Why don't you build that? See, it's perfectly happy for me to put it in. Little Factory, it's much more complicated than this. Yeah, so I think that's the clever thing they've done really is that it's more focused on the epic production scale and things like that. In a sense, the sort of mega base seems to be more what they're going for, as in the challenge of it. Because it's like I've just been doing it casually, and I mean, this is only like I don't even know what it is. How many streams have I done? So this is just the 9th stream, and I'm basically, and that was one of the streams was just me flying about, just exploring the local system, and I've virtually done all the tech tree. Obviously these are quite expensive, and I haven't even done green, but there's most of it. It's struggling because we're not doing organic stuff, but that's only reading. I mean, it's lined up and stuff. So endgame isn't that difficult to get to, and I think what they're going for is more, that you're meant to build, dozens of Dyson spheres and see how high you can take the production the power numbers and stuff like that. I'm just wondering if I do that. No. I was hoping it might put the recipes on top, because now I've got to work out which I'm doing where. Must be those. And we want those in. Now, which would you be? So you're obviously the output. Oops. I suppose doesn't matter. What does it have more of? 2 magnets. Okay, so if we put, oops, do it again. Magnets there. And then copper here. This is an unproliferatable build, this. So this needs to be, if that's 2 to 1, to produce 2 of them. So if we only do half of that. Demand. So power. Bit surprised it doesn't have a delivery on. I have water. Yes, I've made warpers. Yeah. Only sort of very small production, just so that so that I could go exploring. Basically, last stream. Why you not go there? How annoying. Oh, and that's wrong side. Idiot. Let's just put it here then. I mean, I quite like what they've done with the blueprints, and I think it works given the whole planetary size restriction thing. But I sort of gave up with blueprints. It got a bit tedious, and I think my approach was wrong in that I was trying to build a blueprint for everything, and it's probably better to do more sort of generic blueprints and then fit the recipes in. But yeah, it's one of the things. I think Factorio is the only game that's got it right, to be honest with you. Satisfactory blueprints are a bit rubbish. But yes, I have warpers, and I was going to show you. So the ones with the names, obviously the ones I visited last stream. So we went on a bit of a fly around, and I went up to visit the neutron star and black hole in particular. They've changed the neutron stars quite a bit since I last played. They have like particles flying around, and there's like the actual what do you call it? The pulsar beam coming out of it, and all sorts of stuff like that. That's quite spectacular. I was taking pictures actually as we were doing it, but yeah. So I identified that what I might do just to do something different to how I normally do things, or how I've done things before, was go and build my first Dyson Sphere around another system. So in other words, sort of relocate to another system and do it there. And this, I think, is the one we're going to exploit next, because it's got, I mean, it won't show me because it's too far away, but it's got a good amount of copper, which we're quite low on in this system. I'll just say blueprints from the interest and let them know. Yeah, no problem. Well, I say, you know, I think it's quite a good system they've done. Making them shareable was just, you know, regular text files is pretty good, because the Factorio blueprints are a bit of a pain, because they're just like these, you know, random, I mean, it's not random, but it feels random string of text, you know, which is a bit sort of, you know, or at least with most other blueprints, you can sort of work out what they're meant to be. Black holes are amazing looking, and neutron stars are awesome. Yeah, really. So it's one of the things I would say, you know, as you say, it's a little, you know, a little simpler. I mean, it's debatable, I suppose, but this game. But at the very least, it looks amazing. I mean, it's just such a pretty game. See, because that's got a thing there. But it's like, you know, that was the other thing when I was designing these. I designed them all, and then basically they added the proliferation, and it just knackered up all my designs. And it's like a bit like Factorio. I think just sort of leave the, or Satisfactory as well. Even I think I'll leave making my blueprints until it's done. I won't be, you know, having to remake. I know, like Neil House and stuff, you know, he sort of made a career out of making blueprints, hasn't he? But say for me, I think I'll wait. Why is that so low? I think I'll wait, as I say, until the game's kind of finished, or closer to finished. Okay, so we've added these aren't huge volume productions, but oops, wrong button. We've now wrong button again. There we go. So they're off planeted, all of them apart from graphite. Magnets are magnet coils, steel, and gears in a couple of places, but not motors, turbines, and rings. So we've got some productions, and circuit boards are off planet as well, as are prisms and glass. So what we kind of need to do is go back home and make use of some of this stuff now. Yeah, okay. Whoops, don't want to go crashing back in. Is it? I can never remember which one it is. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it is the right one. So let's see if we can time the warp properly again. It's like this. I mean, look at that. I mean, it's well, missed it. There you go. Rabbiting away. You know, that effect when you're just going down the warp tunnel sort of thing. It's just, you know, amazing looking. Right, so so I'm debating whether to put, because it's basically these. Oh, that should be. Wait a minute. Yeah, red is north, isn't it? Yeah. So if I go that one there. Oh, I can't do it in this. Map view. There we go. You see, so it fits around. And this, but this is the export one. You see, what I usually do is or how I've designed these is the import is the South Pole, and the export is the North Pole. And of course, this, you know, I mean, I guess we will if we decide to build, you know, on a different system. But we don't really need the export one, and I usually use it to put all the solar collectory things, you know, for the whatever it calls them, anti-neutrons or whatever. Oh, we're flying. There we go. It's going to stand by, I think. So instead, we would need to build one of these. And you see it's got the power collectory type stuff around it, which is sort of irrelevant. And you also get this thing, it's got a blooming mine right on top of it. So yeah, so I think I'd just put something temporarily rather than completely fill the North Pole. I mean, how much has this got? I mean, it's only got 153,000 left. Yeah, okay, let's build a few of these sort of out the way. Oh, can't build in that view. How are we doing? Yeah, and we'll just sort of bring some of the stuff in. Where would be a good place to build these? Because, as I say, if I'm going to put my normal thing on, I don't want to build on top of it, really. So if we have just a thing, maybe over here, just a sort of a row of them to bring the material in. Oh, hello Zedu. Zedel. Hello, I'm new to the game and I'm struggling with power generation. Where would you recommend to place the solar panels? Welcome to the stream. Hello, I hope you're doing well. Having a good day. I'm a little different with solar panels in that the general recommendation most people have, and I would agree with it in principle, is to build them around the equator. I can't show you it without going to the planet. There's another planet I've got that's in this system that doesn't have any wind, but I actually prefer to build wind turbines. And what I do is I build them along the major grid axes. I'm going to build mode. No, messed that up. So I usually build. I can't show it. Let's just fly over to the equator. It's tricky on your starting planet. What you really want to do is things like this. So this is a hydrogen burning build basically, but it's plugged into. You've got. Excuse me. I've got 2 oil production, oil seeps that were quite close to each other, and then basically I'm using. There's a newer recipe that's been introduced. Why are you not running? Because you're full of carbon. Okay. But basically it's producing. It's set up so that it produces both hydrogen and carbon, or the graphite as it calls it, and then it's burning both the graphite and the hydrogen. It's doing the hydrogen in the form of hydrogen fuel cells, because then you can put them in your mech as well. But if you're not at the tech level that you can do that, then it's sort of not very helpful for you. But I'm slightly surprised that that's not burning. Oh, we're only at 23% load. But yeah, so what I normally do basically is I build a ring of wind turbines around the equator, and it has very much the same effect as solar panels. They don't produce as much power, and you can obviously not put them as close, but for me that's an advantage, because what you can then do, particularly if you've got like mining and stuff like that, is you can build across. So you can just easily take lines across there. And you can even build buildings. You can put not them, but you can put actual buildings across the equator. And if you do solar panels instead, unless they've changed this, we'll have a look, see. If you put solar panels on, then each panel does produce more power. So that produces 2.82. Oh, it's the same. But then isn't this planet different ratios? Oh no, it's 100 and 100. Huh. But yeah, you can get more in, is the point, is the main point, because, as I say, if you compare those two, so in that space, that's only 3 turbines, but that's sort of more panels, so there's power density there. I always thought these would actually produce more. But what you can't do is build belt across them. And so you can build belt in the gaps there, like you see. And these also don't require silicon. They're just, basic materials. But there's no way of doing that. In order to build across, you would need to elevate your belt, which is fine, but it's not really saving any space, because you then got to go down to ground, which is quite space intensive. Obviously I've put that a lot too high, but yeah, so I tend to recommend building turbines instead, and to put them along. You can always combine them. You can put 2 solar panels? Yeah, you put 2 solar panels in the middle. Obviously, I say it's still then you can't, build across. So you could always put 1 in, maybe, 1, alternate them. Like that, maybe. Pop that in there, and then you've got room to build. But yeah, so I tend to go with turbines. The other advantage, of course, with turbines is that they produce all the time. So you're less dense, but solar panels will only produce while they're in the sun. But the common recommendation is a belt of solar panels. I don't know what the received wisdom is now, but I usually do them 3 wide, like so. The other thing I then do is you will have major axes, major polar coordinates, which, not coral. What do you call them? Meridians, major meridians, and they'll be in these thick lines. And at these major meridians, this is how they do the grid. So basically the grid always starts at these major grid lines. So you see you get these discontinuities where basically this line here doesn't match up with that one, or that grid there doesn't match up with that one, but it will always match on the meridians. And you can do the same thing. So basically you can run turbines or solar panels up these grid lines. The difficulty on your starting planet, and organic planets in particular, is the amount of landfill you need. And the tip you can use there is you don't actually have to build them big. Oh, it's got colour on it. You just put them in where you need to, just every so often. It tends to get a bit ugly if you do that, but and then you can just put your turbines in. What the spacing between wind and towers? You have drones that don't need. I don't know, but say early game, you'd probably be doing building across. And I mean, I developed that before drones were even, something I knew about type of thing. I was building like that. That's pretty neat to know. I'm also quite jealous of how organised your planet is. Mine is more like a dump. Oh, I mean, I'm a highly experienced Factorio player, so I have building style that I kind of transfer across from. So I build like this in Satisfactory as well, where it's big lines of machines, but it's like a manifold type build basically, where everything's in a row. But yeah, it just comes with practice really good. Once you've got a thing, I mean, you can get blueprints from the web if you wanted to just copy something you've seen. People often put their blueprints on. What was I doing? I was putting in some interplanetary, but things become a lot easier to make tidy once you've got these guys, your interplanetary and planetary logistics. And generally I would rush towards those. They're kind of a thing you need to get produced or get researched, because they give you access to oops, didn't mean to do that. Give you access to like a much more efficient way of doing logistics that just lends itself to much more sort of compact and tidy builds, really. Also, I mean, as with all of these games, you should never, while you're learning it, while you're trying to work out, oh, this takes 3 of those and 2 of those and 1 of those. Never worry about how much spaghetti you produce, because it's just the nature of these types of games. Spacing on wind is greater than 2. It's less efficient. I'm not sure we remember that. Placing an interplanetary hub starts combat in my game. Oh, right. That's when they attack, is it? Copper, stone. Oh no. Let's do that. So put that on there. That on there. That on there. And then we want that one. That one. That one. Oh, done that already. What else can we bring in here? Maybe those. Drones in. Gonna need power over here, aren't we? No. Let's done it again. And then them in. Cool. Okay, so that'll start charging up as well. Copper. Drones in there. Demand. What else have I made? I've made... Oh! I have at least 50 interstellar drone vessels in space. Well, there you go. Oh, and an achievement as well. It's popping the achievements because they added them since I last played. What else do I want to add on here? Let's just leave it for that, I think. Now there is also those things, I think. Yeah. Got that. I suppose we could bring in... I really need to get the gas giant exploited. Circuits was a thing, wasn't it? Maybe I should put that there. So I got them. I can't remember whether I'm making diamonds remotely. I don't think I am. No, that's an oversight then. But yeah, we could possibly bring in fire ice and stuff. I'm not that fussed about that. But yeah. What we're making in terms of production should be these. I might limit that to 5,000. And them. Like so. Having played a lot of Anno style games, now knowing exactly how much I need produces driving me up the walls. Not knowing, rather. I need to try and change my mindset, I guess. Yeah, I mean, well, I'm sort of a big Anno fan as well. Anno 1800 in particular, I think is absolutely amazing game. Why are circuits not coming in? Probably just because the drones are already doing stuff. But that's interesting, suggests an error. But yeah, the Anno games are great, I love them. I'm actually going to try and stream, you know, when they launch the sandbox mode? Because I absolutely adore Anno games. I am the world's slowest Anno player, though. Literally to the extent that I would love to stream it. You know, because it's a game I adore, and I spent thousands and thousands of hours in it, or, you know, across all the series. But I think anyone watching it would get really frustrated because I'm so slow. It's like the interesting bits I think a lot of people like in the games, of combat and stuff like that. I just don't engage with at all. I just no interested at all. But I thought I might play the yeah, that should be coming in. So that suggests I've made an error there somewhere. Perhaps just not in a interplanetary one. But yeah, I mean, these sorts of games you learn. I mean, you know, Factorio's kind of the daddy, really, of this type of game. I mean, it's not the first one, obviously. You know, people have done factory building games before, but it's kind of defined the modern set of these types of games. And you kind of learn, well, if you play Factorio a lot, you sort of learn. I mean, most I say based on that, they have iron and they have copper, and you know, you build gears and you build motors and you build, and so there's a lot of common themes. It's exactly the same Satisfactory, that you mine iron and copper and you make steel and you make gears, and the recipes vary and stuff, but the same basic ideas are there. And all three games have got drones of some description, and you know, you've got to produce power by burning stuff, and you know, there's some kind of nuclear power involved, and so there's a lot of common themes in these types of games, and you just sort of learn them as you go. If you want to, you can join my DSP community. 6 of us AM at the moment, but we play the co-op all the time. Right, so I was going to try and set up some actual proliferation, wasn't I? I keep just sort of putting it off. I think part of the problem is because I usually leave the proliferation anyway when I do it. I don't until you get level 2. But the problem really is we don't have any organic production, so we're not going to get any level 3 anyway, because we don't have any carbon nanotubes, basically. So if we're going to do that, we need to set up more organic production. So, do any of our systems have any carbon? Because that's got no coal at all. And that's only got 64,000? Okay. It's got 7 million coal, so that's not really a problem. Okay. Let's just bite the bullet and get on with it then. In fact, have I even got any proliferators? Or spray coaters, rather. I do now. Okay. So. Well, like that, I mean, you know, talking about mechanics again, that's, you know, they call them proliferators in this, and you spray coat the material and stuff like that, but it's basically overclocking, you know. It's basically just, you know, production modules or overclocking. It's very similar concepts, and you just sort of get used to a lot of it, really. I'd also say there's, I've not actually played it myself, but games like Shapes.io are apparently quite sort of friendly for beginning these types of games. Cool. And then where am I putting these in? Or do I want to just build it all together? Could do, couldn't I? But then where am I going to physically build it? Oh, let's just landfill these lakes. There's no point having an entire planet if you're not going to completely landfill it and destroy its ecosystem. I mean, you know. If you're not causing an ecological disaster by Tuesday, then what are you doing? What are you doing? I mean, man, unless they fixed it, you can actually sort of block yourself in a sense. I mean, you've got loads of planets, but you can only get water by pumping it out of the seas. So if you completely landfill all your planet, there's no way you can get water. So unless they've come up with some workaround. Just thinking. So let's put all of this coal into a logistics thing. And then in future, I might be able to order it in from somewhere. And I have it all coming in the back, I think. It's like I've hardly built a level 2 belt in this. I am kind of rubbish at teching up, but it's just sort of... I don't know, I had it with Factorio as well, and I didn't build myself any standard blueprints. In fact, I still haven't finished that series, where I'm building myself some sort of, you know, reusable blueprints. Because I always like building new from fresh. Okay, so that's coal. Now, I'm going to mess the numbers on this up, but I don't really care. But the question is, do I then stick it in a separate... Because what we need is diamonds for the second one and carbon nanotubes for the third one. That sounds right. And then we don't really need to store the other two. We can do, but we don't really need to. So we can just have the Mark III coming in here. Now, as we say, we've got... Oh, I guess I got diamond somewhere then. Okay. But we'll only half fill these, I think. And then, I don't know, a couple of thousand of that. Okay. Do I want to demand it in as well? Oh, I have got carbon nanotubes somewhere then. Huh. Interesting. Yes, and then we go out, say, here. We go. And... oh. Let's build a bit of room. Right. And we put proliferators on these. Where have they gone? There they are. Let's put it that way around. And then if we just make... So what do you take? You take half a second to build, and a yellow bell takes 6. So only 3 machines, I think. Quick math. And then if we have that, because we then want the next level coming out of here. And then this is where it tends to get confusing for me, because I direct insert it normally. How quick are these? So that takes a second, but requires 2. So 3 machines is fine? Is that right? Because you get 1 in half a second, and it needs 1 in half a second. But if we have it coming this way, then we can proliferate this as well. Like that. In fact, maybe I should put these back a tile. Yeah, let's do that. So we do that there. Oh, I didn't put that one on. And then we can have this, the level 1 goop. Oh, of course, you're going to be weird, aren't you? If we go up a level, and then back down again. So this is the level 1. I know you get, because you get more and stuff like that. I can't be bothered to do all that maths though. So they're both proliferated coming in, that's proliferated coming out. Okay, so this would be the level 2 stuff. And then... do I put that going out? So in theory, whatever that is there. And then... let me think. if I put output for level 3 there, we'll copy this again, like that. Put the machine. That's the. Oh, it is the right way around. That belt is the wrong way around. No. Yeah. Getting confused. The proliferation here. So this would be tubes coming out. Tubes. Look like that's probably like virtually all of the carbon energies we got. But this wants to be level 3, and isn't it double again? Yeah, because it's once another one and every half second. So actually I need twice as much here. And now there's no room, because I built it in the wrong direction. Why have I built it downwards? That was idiotic, wasn't it? Why have I done that? These are now full, aren't they? What an idiot. Why have I done that? Maybe I'll blueprint it and flip it sideways. But yeah, this needs to be double. Is that right? Because this takes 1 second to make. Oh no, that takes 2 seconds to make, so we're okay. Because it's 1 every 1 second. And that's what this is making? 1 every 1 second. Yeah, so we're okay. Ooh. What was that? Oh, thank you for the follow. That's very, very much appreciated, Settle. Very kind. Why are you... Oh. Let's just do the hop then. Won't do the hop because it's too close. No, that's annoying. Why are you like this? No? No. I'll just go around the back, I guess, then. I can't, can I? Because the belt will be in the way. Let's do... I'm trying to proliferate it, basically. Oh, wait. It wouldn't make any sense anyway. I've done that wrong. This should be carbon nanotubes coming out of here. And then this should be the output. Hey, I like if I flip it around, it puts it all back in, doesn't it? That's funny. But yeah, we could move this then, so that they're all in a line. That's a bit better. So that is the output. But then, what we then need to do is proliferate the proliferation of the proliferator. As you do. I was wondering if I could do that one, because it's a bit of a shame that that's not all in a line, isn't it? How might I get that one in there? I mean, what I could do, I guess, is move all of these up. So make them sort of there. Maybe put them that way around as well, couldn't I? Like that. And then get rid of you two. Like that. I think you meant to stack them as well for like the optimal. And in fact then I could move this bit further back. But then we also need a proliferator. With the gone, spray coated there, there and there. And then basically this is the one that's doing the hop. It's a bit far down, isn't it? Why is it so? Because then we can also have, oops, that one there. So, can you go up? Yeah. So that one goes to there. This one does the same thing. It's not a lot of production this, but again, don't want to box myself in. Right, and but yes, then what we need is this to go. Should we just go one more over so it's a bit tidier? Through here, like that, to proliferate the proliferation of the proliferator. I've not powered this up, have I? Right, let's put one in there. And you have to power these as well. I wonder how close I can get. Okay, put one there. One there. One there and one there. Oh, we're not getting any power. Why not? Ah, because it's just a little bit too far away. Okay. To there maybe then? Okay. And we want this coming in here and going out here. So that gets us the yellow stuff. And then this wants the yellow stuff and the extra bits and pieces. Nope, done that wrong. Why don't I just copy it? And then you want, what do you want? Because that's your output. So we need to copy that down. But then you want an output here as well as an input. Okay. Let's do that one and that one. And then copy you down. It's not a huge amount of proliferating stuff going on, but in fact, why don't I build the faster? Because we only need 9 of them. So these are max proliferation. And those are as well. That's not getting proliferated. Oh yeah, no it is. It's just taking a while to fill up the spray coater. Awesome. Cool, and they're getting proliferated, so that's okay. Starts to lose all meaning. Proliferation. And then that's coming around there. These aren't filled up yet because there's just not enough being produced. Should be coming through next time. There we go. So I guess the first one's done. Yeah. Takes them a while to process through, I think, doesn't it? They don't, you know, I don't get the maximum effect until, because it does a weird thing where it combines them. where you've effectively got, you know, some of level 1 and some of level 0 and some of level 3, and it does maths on them basically. Because it's cheeky like that, it does a bit of maths. So they're then coming out of here. Awesome. Are we struggling for any production? No. No. But we need to upgrade. Ow! It does not carry the recipe if you do it that way. Okay, noted. Let's do it this way then. Okay. I would have them proliferation juice. I wonder where the diamonds are coming from. Must have them somewhere. Okay, so what have we got here? I've not got. See, got loads of landfill now. So diamonds are not being produced. Oh, circuits have come in. It must just have been that all the drones were tied up. Cool. Interesting. That's basically 0. Incoming. So yeah, just diamonds that I'm not making remotely, which makes sense. I've only got a tiny bit of production, doesn't it? So if we just clear them off for now. It does feel like I've forgotten one of them. We've got prisons and yeah. Don't know. Right. Is this max prolif? Cool. Yeah, could do with expanding it, to be honest with you, and I say the mass doesn't quite work in that, because this is being boosted way up, you're getting more of these and it's not actually eating them, and eventually this will probably back up and stuff, but it doesn't really matter. Cool. Just let some of that build up. Right, so crikey, it's 5 o'clock. Oh, here we go. These are diamonds, but then they're being fed in directly, aren't they? Huh. But yes, what I was thinking is that what we could do is kind of try and fix yellow, because the reason this is just not happening is the yellow structure matrix are just not, not happening, and which is why I guess I've got diamonds, because the overflow, because no research is happening, is going into the box. Oh, hydrogen is full. Okay. Huh. Oh wow, full as well. I wonder if I could order some over to here. Would that work? No, because it's on local supply already and it's full. Okay. What about... I mean, the power thing's not really running very hard, is it? But what we could do is like set this up to pull in some hydrogen. Where is it? I think I've flown in the wrong direction, haven't I? Ooh. Here we go. Okay. So if we have this bringing hydrogen in, Then we can put it into this. If I can do it properly, there we go. Oh, I've just put it in as... but we get it to prioritise which one? That one? I can't remember which is the critical one. I think it is the top one. In fact, it might be better if I do that a little differently. We put a... Oh, I haven't got any splitters. Splitter. Where are they? There. Wow, I can only build 3. Okay. Yeah, so if we have it in here, I might actually put it there. Then it's only got 2 to choose from. I didn't know you could have it only do. So it prioritizes that one. We'll boost that. Oh, about. So that's at least using some of the hydrogen for fuel, which I'm guessing I've not topped up in a while. Now, don't you get better burning if you proliferate hydrogen? Stack 0 material if then the effect of extra production uses more energy can be produced, but I don't think that applies. It only applies to actual generators, which we'd kind of rather it just burnt it at the moment, I think. I don't think it applies to us, does it, when you proliferate the fuel? Oh, it's prioritising that way, isn't it? Yeah. So it shouldn't back up on these again, but it will fill the gaps in with what I've got here. I really need to get making, like, you know, nuclear fuel, and that would also put a big strain on power. Shall we do that then? I keep avoiding making green cubes, and I don't know why. So we need some of them, but we haven't got enough watt to make frames. Carbon nanotubes, of course. And it's not really making nanotubes, I think, because... Aren't they over here somewhere? They're there. Oh, we are making some. Okay. I guess they're probably all in my proliferation one. Yeah, let's grab some of them there then. A couple hundred of them. Oops. So we can make a couple more. So 20 each. So if we make sort of 2 more. Like that. But then I need more graphite, which I'm pretty sure that's going to be virtually 0. Oh no, it's loads in there. Right. Oh, finally do research. What's that one? That's space. Ah, doesn't that get me into planetary?
You have unlocked the logistics carrier engine level 4. It allows the logistics vessel to warp, but they will consume 2 space warpers back and forth
There we
to transport
go.
cargo. So needs to make sure there are enough space warpers in the interstellar logistics station at any time.
Go away. Yeah, so where am I making warpers, and how big a volume is it? Because it's literally just a handful, I think. Or lenses, aren't I? I'm making lenses. Okay, we need to check that out then. That looks like it's stopped. I got distracted again, didn't I? I need carbon. Here we go. So I need this. Here we go. Get some of that. And then that'll make us 2 of those. Yeah. So, strong matter. What are we lacking? Oh, we're lacking particle containers, right? Why are we lacking particle containers? This is my thing again. Pins. I want pins. I want to be able to stick a pin in and say this is where I've put the things. I know all you people with your fancy entire planet blueprints just know where everything is, but I don't. That's that. Where am I making particle containers? It's not right next to me, is it? That's chips. Those are your fibre optic cable things. No. Where are... No. No. Where are... See, all the icons are so small as well. Come on, they've got to be somewhere obvious. Ah, here we go. This is particle containers. It lacks graphite. There's a surprise. And it lacks graphite. Not least of all, because this is all... I think that's their only production of graphite. And they're not running. Because why? Anyway. I got distracted again. Let's put... What? Oh, I'm feeding it directly in, am I? Okay. Huh. Oh, I am putting them in here, actually. Okay. Oh, we got loads. Okay. Because what we want to bring in is copper, basically, because we've got very, very little copper in this system. I say that, I mean, we've got 1 million, but here, the other planets have got basically no copper. So we could start, you know, we could set up a production chain to bring copper in. What I need to do is focus on one job and finish one job. Right. Because obviously it's a way more efficient thing with green cubes, turning them into warpers. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Now, it was over here, I think, wasn't it? Oh, look. Iron's out. Haha. Ah. Was it over here? Over here, we go. Now you lack graphene. Okay. And graphene is only being produced over here. Why none of them running? Because oil is backed up, which is odd. Because oil is coming here. Why are you not making anything? Because you don't have sulfuric acid. Because it's just not enough, is it? Wonder if I could boost that belt up actually. Because this is more than this will take. Okay. I think there's a quick solution. Boosting that up might help a bit. Oh, I've only done the... It's not done that bit. Oh, I've run out, that's why. There we go. So that sort of doubles our throughput in total. So these are all able to run properly now. Except not, why are you not running? Because not enough oil is getting through? No, this belt needs to go up as well. Like that. Because we got like 3 feeds in. I think we probably need more oil. I need to build some proper, you know, logistics base oil production as well. Are you getting oil now? Yeah. But this will be draining out. See, it's going down. I wonder if I have got another oil seep somewhere nearby. There's one there, isn't there? 2 there. Let's go and tap that one. Just to add it on. Don't think I've got any oil wells. Oil extractor. Loyal extractor. A loyal extractor. See, I'm moaning about not having copper and I haven't even tapped that patch. How high is that one? At the same level? That's that one, isn't it? Perfectly in the way. Perfectly in the way. So that'll help with stopping that from running out. A bit, not a lot, but a bit. Now these aren't, I say, still not producing a lot here because it lacks organic crystals. And that's because they're coming out of here and they need plastic. And this is a boxed in little plastic build. Okay. I'm wondering if I maybe put a planetary logistics on the end here. So put crude, whatever it's called, refined oil in there. Because you use that for that as well, don't you? Because I'm thinking maybe we could just so I can reuse the infrastructure. And we could bring plastic. So we could supply that, we could demand that in. Wait a minute, where is that plastic coming from? What kind of a network have I set up here? Where is that plastic coming from? Huh. Because that plastic is feeding directly into that and it's not going into any kind of a chest. So I must have set up plastic somewhere else. Oh, here we go. This is plastic. Huh. Okay. So we could go and expand that. That'd be easy to expand that one. But yes, I'm going to power this up. Like this. Then we can have the plastic coming out of here. Oh. Oh, is it? It's a zombie Roni. Welcome back. When in doubt, destroy it. That's what I do with my game wheel. Indeed, indeed. Right, yeah, so we can add in quite easily a little bit of extra production here. Like so, no problem with that. In fact, we could easily move this up, couldn't we? A simple matter of simply finding a simple point where the belt in fact let's not destroy that because then I'll end up with inventory of that. Up there, take that out, put you in, get some power piles on the situation. What we got, so every two, maybe there, there. Chop that off. Wait. Helps if you get the belt going the right way, doesn't I have about 150,000 refined oil sitting in tanks. I don't think I'll destroy those. Wow, that's a lot of oil. There is actually an achievement. I was sort of looking at the achievements. I haven't really been I mean, it's been popping them because I just happened to be doing the things it was asking. But there is one, isn't there, for storing fluid, or like having, like, you know, a mountain of fluid or something where it's like 20 units high or something. I can't remember. Is plastic really this slow? It seems incredibly slow. 3 seconds. So you would need, to fill about, you would need 18 of them. 3, 6, 8. Because it's not even consuming it. So if I did move it a little bit further up, and in fact that's a better line to send it up, isn't it? Except no, because I was thinking if we put a splitter in, you see. I built a proliferation and I haven't proliferated anything yet. Science is what I want to proliferate first. But I think if I put this in here, do I get another one in? No. Oh, nearly. But we could have another line of these going this way. Yeah, are you not going to play ball? Okay. I always forget the key. Is it that one? No. That one? Yep. Is that lined up? I think this is going to be too much, but just stick them in anyway. So I can then have this coming out of here. Too much meaning it won't have enough input now for what it's being asked to produce. But we shall see, we shall see. So, say input there, output there. Wait. Why do these not have inserters on? Are you bots or drones being lazy again? Just can't trust them, you see. You just can't trust them. If I copy that one, will that fit? Or bar that one? Okay. There and there. Do these by hand because I've done weirdness, so yeah, I've done weirdness with the alignment, so it's not going to be powered. Okay. Oops. So you're not powered either. I don't know. So fussy. So fussy. If there's an achievement for storing a lot of fluid, I had a planet that I built like 100 tanks and filled them with sulfuric acid. Wow. Was that an actual sulfuric acid planet, or? So this isn't properly outputting, so if we boost the belt from that point on, I keep thinking it would have horrible like performance I mean it would, because obviously it's enormous about stuff, but it's because Factorio has got me into that mindset of fluid equals bad. I mean Satisfactory is not particularly brilliant with the fluids. But yeah, to my mind it's like doing things with fluids must be horrendous performance. Okay. But yeah, I don't think it's quite inputting enough stuff to feed all of them, but it's fine. What we could also do though, since we're sticking it in, and I don't think we're taking it out, is we could... I called this stream that tidying up. I will tidy up at some point. I'll build some proper, you know, Gucci builds, you know, with logistics and stuff, but, you know, I quite enjoy messing about with all this rubbish. So if we put that in there, and then splitter, and then belt, and belt. Oh, that should be level 2 belt though, shouldn't it? Do that in a minute. Like that. Because we're not... I say, we're putting it into that other one, but I've not put it out anywhere. So, drones. We want that in there. And then we want to upgrade that belt. Cool. Oh, I got graphite here as well. Huh. I mean, we're not really making very much, but we do have graphite. Now it's struggling. Oh, it's processing fire ice. Yeah, there are relations on it, yeah. It's quite cool, that. I mean, they're horribly barren, those planets, usually. I mean, it's not surprising, is it? But because it's, you know, lakes of sulfuric acid, so there's not much going to grow there. But they're pretty cool planets, I think. It was just, you know, interesting idea to give you that particular resource. So these are... what? Yeah, it's just struggling to get rid of the hydrogen again, isn't it? Yeah, that's maxed out. You get that loop in this game, don't you? Where why are you supplying hydrogen but you've not actually got any hydrogen? But yeah, we could do with some more like deuterium production. Why are we still not getting any pink dumbbell things? Oh, that's just a slowness problem, is it? No, not enough graphite. Yeah. So we've got hydrogen blockage again. Is this power thing not using it up? Oh, it's full, you see. Oh, I could boost the speed of those. If I just slam that up. Yeah, we could boost them up to the next level machine. I think I've run out of basic materials, haven't I? Right. What was I going to make then? Brain is just going. Brain Swiss cheese today. I was going to see about making more deuterium, because that's a good way of chunking through the stuff with hydrogen. And it should have a positive feedback effect where it burns up the hydrogen and that frees up the graphite production, which produces more dumbbells, which produces more of these. Because the actual fuel, the rods, we could increase this as well. Take that up to 1,000, say. In fact, let's just slam it way up. You always need more of that. Just keep going, my friend. Just keep going. Burn us some deuterium, please. But yes, because in order to do fusion power plants, I need to feed them with this, don't I? Rather than like raw deuterium. I need titanium alloy, which I've got some of here. Excuse me. Well, let's just build all of them. Where's that gone? There it is. I can't put raw deuterium in there, can I? No. No, you need to put it in as rods. Okay. In which case, could I just sneak one in here? No. No, of course it doesn't fit. Okay, let's put it on the side here then. And we'll have this coming out of here. Popping out some deuterium. Don't know why I made it that long, but I did. And we'll put a couple of these on. There we go, first fusion power. You activated your first mini fusion power station using an a stellarator configuration to confine a high temperature plasma core and miniaturize the fusion reactor. A stellarator? I don't know if that's a different name for a tokamak. Okay, so that gives us some burning of a thing. We could also probably boost that up. Make it a bit quicker. Because it doesn't need the purples, does it? No, I've just continued that line on. Cool. It's that one that needs the purples. Just wondering if I could sneak an extra one in here, because if we go that way, and I could pop another one of those in. Because I mean, I probably should, but let's not have 3. Let's just do an extra one here. I didn't set the recipe. And then have those like that. Well, it's only on yellow belt, so I don't know why I didn't bother with that. And then the output here. Cool. I could probably have another one, 2 there. Because I don't need this one either, do I? Where have they gone? There they are. So you can grab from there, you can grab from there. I should use the copy and paste. Take that in. Like that. And then they both need an output, which we can probably connect over to there maybe. Cool. So yeah, that should use up some deuterium. You see it's starting to go down, which will then use up some hydrogen here. Should I mess about with stacking? I'm rubbish at the stacking mechanic. I always mess it up. Let's see if we can. Let's see how badly I do at it again. To stack or not to stack? That is the question. Do these need power? I can't remember. Anyway, if we chop a little section out here, because you have to stack it and then you speed the belt up and you stack it, or something, don't you? I can't remember. Is it something like that? So we don't, oh, they do need power. Okay. Everything needs power. And there we go, green belt, I think. And then, oh, I haven't got any blue belt. And we have to go blue belt. Oh, lack of item, there. But then we can put it out as yellow because it's densified or something. Oh, it's only doing 2. Why is it only doing 2? No, see, I've messed it up, haven't I? And I don't know why. Oh no, now it's 2 and 3. There we go. Or 4. Yeah. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. So these are our first stacked ones coming in here. We'll see, we'll see. Can I extend this down is the other question. If I make a bunch more of these, how many? I've got 5. So if I make a bunch more of them, what do I need? What am I missing? Steel. Okay. Old school, eh? Old school. Old school. Have you got steel? No. What about you? No. Oh, I already used fusion. Oh no, that is... I'd literally just put that down. This must have steel. Here we go. A couple of hundred of your finest English steel, please. What was I building? I was building 5 more of them. I need to put hydrogen. Oh, well, that one's empty. There's no hydrogen there at all. But then there's no hydrogen coming in. So why does that even have that on there? That won't fit. Okay, let's extenderize this then. That's too close to the belt. Okay. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, are they on a different grid pattern? I guess they must be. It's odd that they line up there, but they don't. Oh, it's because I put this in the wrong place, maybe? Did I? What have I done? 2, 4, 5. Oh no. Why won't do that? How did I get them so close if it won't let me build them so close then? Huh. So it lets me hand build them closer than it lets me auto build them. That's odd. Right. Take that down there. Down there. Oops. Okay, oops. Okay. And then that needs to go in there. Oops. Okay, and now we want some power. So, oops. So we got 1, 2, Bosch, 1, 2, Bosch, 1, 2, where would it be, Bosch? Yeah, guess. We shall see. There's no hydrogen coming around at all. Did I put that the wrong way around? No. What have I done wrong there? Why is that not working? Ow, that's not connected. Okay, that's better. Yeah, I think you have to loop them back, don't you? Because there's like a density thing or something where you're like... Oh, and I could get rid of them, I guess. Because they're robbing hydrogen. I don't know. Maybe if I make it all higher belt, maybe. That'll help out. A teensy bit. Okay. Right, what I do want to try and do is use those particle colliders I built. I'm not sure I've unlocked, because you have to do the research, don't you, to do the recipe? Oh no, I can do it, okay. So I put a few of these on as well. Now these have a much better ratio, but I think they're like absolute power monsters. Which isn't a bad thing for us, because we kind of want to burn some of this power that we're using now. So yeah, we could put them on the end here maybe, instead of looping it round. What would be a good place there maybe? That work? Doesn't look like it's in the right place. Oh, well I've rotated it, haven't I? Yeah. And then instead of... Oh no, that didn't work. Because we want this coming out of... Oops. Coming out of... No. Coming out of here. Like this. And then one of these here. Do I want that? Probably better if we align it to the middle like I was doing before. And then we'll just loop, you know, sort of bend the belt round somehow. And we'll have them backwards. So, do a little loop. And we can give it a couple of inserters on both sides, because why not? And then if we take that like that, nope, like that. Okay. Got them in the wrong place, but there you go. In fact, yeah, I need to be somewhere else. No. Can't do it. Okay, never mind. Just pop that in there then. If I put that there, take that off. We need outputs. And we need recipes. Okay. Yeah, they're absolute power monsters then, but I say that's not necessarily a bad thing for us. We're almost getting a... In fact, we are getting a more than a belt's worth out of all of that. Okay, well that's... In fact, you're not really feeding through, are you? Because this is more like a random chance one rather than... this is fixed, but really, really high power. A high energy demand, anyway. Let's pop that in there. Yeah. Cool! Because I'm assuming... It's absolutely... Oh, look, we've got all the pink cubes, or pink dumbbells we would need. Oh, and that's backed up. They're full. Awesome sauce. Yeah, that is quite a lot of production of deuterium for where we are in the situation, but we have, excuse me, so much hydrogen to burn. Oh, it's stacking it as well. Okay, that's nice. See, just full. Status full. Status full. Oh, and we're getting carbon rods. Rods, carbon nanotubes. Not enough graphite coming down though. Why not? Have I got my ratios all wrong? So this takes... So that's pumping out 5 ice. So it's making 1 graphite a second. Graphene, rather. Oh, and that needs 1.5. No, it doesn't. Makes 2, but it takes 2 seconds, so half. So it'd be a quarter. So 1.5. 3/4 per machine per second. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's 1.5, so it'd be 3. That should work. Why is that not working? It's odd that that's not working. Clearly done the maths wrong there. Oh well, we're boxed in by a machine anyway, so how about we plop an extra one in maybe? Or 2? Give ourselves an extra treat. Ah, the inserter speed is probably the biggest problem. But we want graphene anyway, so... Still going red, isn't it? How many of those have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope. 6. Yeah, it's stuffed now, and we get an extra going in. Always nice, always nice. And your carbon nanotubes again that way. Into your particle lads, which is just full. Just reached the point. It's full. Happy now. Full. Okay. Pop cubes is full. How are we doing science-wise generally? Has that fixed any of our issues? Because we don't appear to have many organic crystals here. Because this is the other thing. Obviously organic crystals are just growing on certain planets that we've been to. So if we start going interplanetary, we could maybe get ourselves some organic crystals for free. Okay, so it is them that's struggling. And it's because we're not getting organic crystals. And that's just because... What the heck is that? Oh, plastic is still rubbish. But part of the reason for that is because I'm a complete genius and I connected it to the wrong dang thing. Wow. 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 So it's gone all the way down here. Brilliant. But we can flip path now. Wait. What? Oh yeah, it's the graphene that's wrong, isn't it? Idiot. Flip path. Connect. Yeah, some idiot. No, don't bring it in. We want it to go in via belt, not via bot. What an idiot. Okay, so that's the last bit of plastic there. So, let's snip it off there. And then have that go. Flip our path. That go that way. I don't know, what's the idea? I don't know if I got... I can't see why I would have, but you never know with me. Have we got sulfuric acid set anywhere? No. No, we have not. Okay. Look at all that plastic. What's meant to be coming this... Oh, I need to flip this back, don't I? They're not making anything, because they haven't got any sulfuric acid at all. Because it's all going this way. And I don't have it being made anywhere else. No. And there's another thing, you see. We could find a sulfuric acid plate, and we did encounter at least one. Where it was, I don't know, but at least one, and we could ship it in. Oh, it's going into super titanium. Okay. Right. Well, if we've got a crude somewhere that's like backed up, or you know, one of these, for example, because that's oil, basic oil coming in there. I don't suppose there's a stone patch anywhere there, is there? Oh. Because it's not really using all that. So I could also send some sort of this way. Could I order stone in? Larry's got stone. Stone vein all the way over there. It's got crude oil there. Because we've got crude and stone. So it could just do a own border, obviously. Could just do a bespoke sulfuric acid build for now. Oh, it's 6 o'clock. Crikey, that has flown by. I didn't even think about but greens, so I seem to be avoiding it for some reason. I don't know why. It's not helping that I'm just getting distracted all the time. Where was this area where we might possibly want to make sulfuric acid? Where was that? It was over here, wasn't it? That way. Wasn't I gonna boost them up? Yeah, this way. Here we go. So, yes, nearly 6 o'clock. Yeah, feels like we could have. I haven't got any of them, have I? Or refineries. Perhaps if I plop this down, and I can't put that down because that's the wrong thing. If we put this down, I'm just thinking of a way to remind myself, basically. So we make that make sulfuric acid, and maybe that will remind me. No guarantees on that at all. But yeah, there we go. So, it is ever so light early, but there's no point starting anything else. Crikey, I've gone dark. Honestly. I was, oops. Wow, is it really? Why did that go so slow then? Oh, I guess it's because I'm switching between the different tabs. Anyway, let's swap my schedule up. I should be back next week with the exact same schedule. I have multiple days of holiday coming up across a whole range of weekends and weeks off and things like that. It's really choppy, isn't it? Let's just exit out the game. Yeah, I had. So yes, next week will be the schedule. So the schedule will run as per normal. Factorio on the Saturday and Sunday for Dyson Sphere Program. I might. I think that's right because I'm just trying to think when the anno. Yes, so the next weekend. Is that right? I'm trying to think. Yes, so next weekend is the last weekend where it will be normal streams. And it will be the usual schedule. Bob's Mods on Saturday and this on Sunday. I will try and come up with a proper plan. Obviously, this week it was, because I'm working, I'm sort of just, I can't remember where I even got to for most of the streams. So there was that. But the weekend after is where I'm supposed to be going to WASD if the trains, permit me to go. Even if they don't, I'm sure I'll be messing about with driving and stuff like that instead. Weekend after that, I think, is Easter. It might not be, but it probably is. Weekend after that, I'm not sure. But I've got this whole slew of holidays and broken weekends when, in theory, I could stream. But I just won't, sort of thing, because I tend to go into holiday mode and I stop streaming. But yes, I'll say it yet again because for some reason I keep repeating it. But next weekend, normal schedule, and then it goes all a bit weird. Certainly by mid-May I'll be back on it. I was hoping that I was going to get my company bonus this, start of the financial year, so April. It turns out they don't pay it until July, so I need to wait. I think I know what it is. The reason I'm mentioning that is because I'm going to use that money to upgrade my machine, or part of the upgrade for the machine. So I need to be careful about. We're getting into the Dyson Sphere Program, and particularly with Anno, trying to stream Anno, where it's struggling to run it as it was just choppy then. So I had hoped that would happen sooner. What I might do is just do it on credit, and then I can use the bonus to pay off that credit, because I should be able to get a load of free credit because of a situation where I am in. But yes, so that's all far too much detail as per usual. The only other thing to say is there's a YouTube channel. I have a YouTube channel if you want to catch any of these VODs, any of these as VODs. All of this series, the Factorio, current Bob series, my Blueprint series, my Megabase series from back in the day, No Spoon Run, the Satisfactory series, where I got increasingly annoyed with the game and eventually just threw in the towel and gave up. All of those are available on that YouTube channel if you want to go and check them out. Other than that, it just remains for me to say, if you have been watching, I hope you've enjoyed it and you might consider coming back for another one. I've been Trismegistus. This has been Dyson Sphere Program. Thanks for watching. Cheers.